thanks Tara for introduction, and I would like to thanks Jatin to give his valuable time for the session for our clients. And I think in today's time, it become very critical the value of will and estate planning, and what we have seen that over a period of a time, how the family structures have changed. And secondly, post COVID, people have started realizing that you cannot plan when need come. So that's also a show that how it become very essential for the individual. But still, if you look at from India perspective, people have a lot of doubts, and always one belief come that okay, I have done the nomination. Maybe Jatin, I would like to take on these parts that what are the common thing which we come across with most of our clients. One of the basic thing which come up that okay, I have done nomination, and most of the time they think that okay, nomination is means assets will automatically get transferred to the nominee. Second part, what we have seen that they always have a misconception that okay, my family is small nuclear, and we know where assets going to be. And that is where the another things where we have seen that people think that everything will move to their spouse, and accordingly it will be taken care, which may not be the case if we go as per the rule of the law. And third most important thing, what we have seen that people always have that mindset today why we need, because the moment it comes that after death what is going to happen, the death word itself make people to think that we should not talk about or take it forward. So I think I would like you to take more deeper in terms of why it become very critical in terms of today's time perspective, and the recent cases also. The best example recently, even like Sona Comstar, where after Sanjay Kapoor's sudden death, how fights are happening on business side also. So I'll not take much of time now and give a handover to you for the session, because I think everybody is waiting to yeah, have a word from you. And I think the whole target today's perspective we are looking at, especially most of the service class individuals who are normally think that their finances are simple, that doesn't need much of wealth creation or even creating a private trust, especially like for NRI cases or where we have a person with disabilities and other things. So your insights will be helpful, and maybe after that we can have a Q&A session. So I'll hand over session to you, Jatin, and thanks.
Thank you so much, Sunil and Tara, for the brief introduction. And thank you, Right Horizon, for having me here to discuss with your client and your interested people to know and understand about this particular very important subject, which we feel is really important. At the end of this session, it is you to decide whether it is important for you or not. So let me start the session with a brief presentation. We will have around 35-40 minutes for the presentation, and also another 20 minutes for the Q&A. So you can keep your questions noting on the chat box. We will address you, each and everyone, at the end of the session. So let me share my screen if it is okay with you. I hope you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yes, Willjini, today we have a company which our motto is Succession Simplified. So Willjini, everything around will. Yes, we are the people who are doing a lot of things in India, and Succession Simplified is our vision and motto that we are trying to do as simple as possible for explanation, and even service delivery wise. We also have same principle. It is to be a simplified way, understandable to each and every common man, instead of being a very legal jargon type of thing. So that's something we are carrying on. Uh, so no, this circle is something which is something very important, and this circle is for all of us, our of life circle. This life circle is something which we all have experienced for our parents, grandparents, us also. And yes, in the current scenario and the next generation scenario, this is more relevant and prevalent, which we should discuss out how the life circle works. And this life circle right now we are talking is exclusively on wealth side. There are many, many other layers of the circle which also involve about personal life and other life. But currently we are talking about the wealth and planning and those journeys. So in that regard, we always try to take an education to the focus is always in everywhere is to how I will earn good, what will be my career. So this type of steps we take from the childhood till up to 25 years old. And yes, this is something a first step on the wealth journey. The next one is the career. So now education is there. At the age of 25, we are out for a career. It could be a doctor, it could be a businessman, it could be a any job opportunity. So this career starts at around those time. The next one is a savings and investment. So this comes around when even marriage happens around 30 age. People get married, they have a child, and there is a saving concept comes in for the seriousness. Some people take a lot of life care insurance, medical claim. So this is the stage where we try to do all those things. Then comes the more savings and investment. So once you have a first kitty of say 10 lakhs rupees, people start investing and they see that the passive income starts in their life, which will support them for their the other requirement of the life and the long-term goals. Then comes the multiplication. So after certain level, you have good amount of wealth, and then you start thinking, let me also load the investment should be coming in a bigger way. So you start thinking who should be your advisor, who should be your tax consultant, how can I save maximum, how can I multiply more, which are the avenues in India, abroad, which are the instruments are there. And then it comes to diversification. So people start diversification the assets into business, into gold, into properties, into mutual fund, into the demat shares, the bond, all the aspects they try to divide for simple reason that risk should be minimum, return should be high, and their goals of the life, whichever they have mentioned, it should achieve in various time. And then comes what? So this is the time which in the financial planning, something is there which is there in the next level, which we normally we miss to go further. Up to diversification level, we all are by that time around 60, 55, 60 age. And we have played this game maybe alone, mostly in India, maybe alone because the spouse are having a bigger responsibility at home. They are home ministers. They take care of the kid. They take care of the overall the personal life decisions and the peace at home. So this whole journey of investment, multiplication, diversification, everything happened during the age of 30 to 60 years, maybe alone by you. But the next step is very important, which is something which we want to discuss today, and that is the succession planning. So succession planning is one of the planning tool which is people have missed, people have not talked, people have not thought over, and this is something which everybody need to focus that this is something is part of the life, similar to old age. The old age will come, old age related issue will come. Somebody will survive after the two the spouses, and the surviving spouse will take care of the wealth, and he or she will decide that eventually might be come to more or less all of us in life, and that situation is reality. Nobody can beat old age. Nobody can beat the loneliness for one of the survivor. Nobody can beat the death. These are the reality of the life, and also that wealth goes to the next generation. So this whole reality is there, whether you accept it, whether you want to talk on it or not. Sunil was saying about the people don't talk about death on this aspect. So we have little different view here, Sunil, that people have taken insurance at the age of 30 when got married and a kid. So they take a life insurance. Okay, something happens to me, my family should get 1 crore to survive or all the thing. So that insurance concept is already taken at the age of 30 when we have thought about death. Okay, that situation. So at the age of 60, you can't change the law that death is not going to come to you. We have accepted at age of 30, at the 68, we have to also continuously see that, yes, this might happen and this is going to happen in one day or other. So this is a very clear-cut reality of the life that old age, the loneliness, the old age medical issue, the death, the succession of the wealth is reality. We have to make somehow part of the whole financial planning. If it is not there, you have done a incomplete financial planning. And it is not that today we do a planning, like, you do insurance planning, mutual fund planning, tax planning, and every year you sit with your consultants, advisors, that I want to change this, and that. So same thing applies with the succession planning. It is not that today what you decided, it will be there continuously for your life. You don't get a chance to change it. You all have chance, just like a tax changes or mutual fund changes or your portfolio changes also happens in succession planning. So today you have to decide, oh, what is today's thought? Maybe after 2 years, 3 years, you might have different thought. You can change it. So this is something which missing in most of the Indians, and such type of succession planning we have seen world over in advanced countries, developed countries. It is there for last 40, 50 years. Each household has thought over. They have already planned. There is a like a medical insurance policy. Everybody has a will, or maybe a trust also. So those are the countries. They are quite evolved. We are in India, everybody has to learn, understand, and they have to start doing this through the planners like Right Horizon is your wealth planner or your investment planner. Those type of no advisors can always guide you that this is something missing. Please talk on this and please do some acting. So this is a very brief understanding on the life cycle. Now let's come to the topic that this type of issue, if we don't do succession planning, thinking, or if we don't think over, we don't discuss, if you don't take any action, what might happen? So, for example, if somebody has not done his thought over the planning or not made a will or trust, whatever, what happens? The family will have what will the family will face? So, something they will not know where the assets are. They don't know the clue. Many of the family we have seen the spouse or the kids, they doesn't know what is the type of wealth they've earned or where they've kept, and suddenly something happens and they start searching it. They do treasure hunt of the wealth. They might fail in some of the asset which might go to government. Okay, so, say for example, a person had a demat account or some property they bought and not informed to the family, or they don't have any paper in the house which they can see that, okay, this property is there. Eventually, what will happen? The asset not claimed by the family, it will go to the government. Okay. Now, the reality today is 3,89,000 crore wealth is already with the government of the public. Why? Somebody has not taken shares claimed, somebody a bank deposit, insurance claim. So many things are going to government because there is a rule that in a bank deposit, if you have not claimed or touch upon your deposit, after 10 years, it will go to the RBI. Same way shares, it will go to IPF. So these are the situation of various asset. So this 3,90,000 crore, as per the last month figure by the Supreme Court, which is there for many years. Even if they have not counted the interest, government doesn't give any interest on this fund that is locked in with them. So if you see, practically this might be multiple of 5, 6 times of the wealth, which is huge, which is lying with the government. The reason I have not told to my family, they don't know where to go. So this wealth is not claimed by my family and it is going to government. So this is a reality. Everybody should know that if you don't tell your family your investment or whatever your wealth, this might not, they can't claim it from the authorities and it will go. So one of the simple way, people write a will and mention this is my assets and I please take it. So this is the simpler way people have to do to avoid such type of mistake. Okay. The second issue is a lot of family is fighting in the court. The example Sunil gave, that Comstar Sujay Kapoor issue is now it is under media. The 30,000 crores of the wealth is under fight between the ex-wife and wife and the kids and the mother and the sister. Everybody is into the game. Now this is a reported media. This has happened to many celebrities in past. So people known about the reported media cases, but people doesn't know this happens in many household, many household. Whether the wealth size is 20 lakhs or 20,000 crore. This happens in many household of the fight within the family that who will take what. Because the person who has kept the wealth, he has not told to the family how much he wants to give this person, how much he wants to give this person by writing a will. So this is a problem that somebody is not giving proper instruction to the family. They fight and decide who is taking what. During that process, many matters get settled by the family internally, but many which is not settled go to the court of law. So today, more than 1 crore cases out of the total cases are belonging to the family disputes for the land, for the asset, for the wealth. Okay. Now, while they are fighting, even they know that this wealth belongs to them. Then also, if they don't claim because of the case going on, even that wealth will go to the government. So even you know, but you are fighting in between the asset lying with the banks or DMAT or the mutual fund. Beyond certain point, they have to compulsorily give it to the government of India to keep it. They will give, government will give you if you go and claim, but that's a lengthy process and there is no interest is given on that. So this is the issue that if you don't make a will, number one, your asset going to be unclaimed. Number two, if you don't write a will properly to give what will to whom, this could be a problem that they will start fighting. So these are the two real examples that what is being faced in India by many people who have various size of wealth. Willjini is something, a company which we are trying to solve this issue. We are trying to educate people and we are trying to give them simpler solution of will writing or whatever. Last 12 years, we have done a lot of work in this. We have done more than 20,000 wills for the families and we are into the process to have more partners like Right Horizon to reach out to you and explain these problems. And you can take your own call of how to do and what to do and where to do. We have been partnered with large institutions and the partners like Right Horizon also, and quite a few media. So we are working with the corporate people, we are working with retired people, we are working with professionals, we are working with large business people and NRIs. So these are the people we are working very closely for last 12 years, almost in India and abroad. And a lot of media coverage is there. A lot of customers are very happy with our services. You can see the Google review, more than 500 4.8 review for our services. They have written very good about us and we are very happy about it. So now we have seen during our discussion with various seminar, webinar, and also when they come to us for discussion, the people avoid writing a will and what are the excuses they give. Please look at it and how far they are right or wrong. You can decide. Okay. So people says, like Sunil mentioned, that that is something they don't want to discuss now. I will keep it, postpone it. Okay. It is true that people can postpone it and do it little later, maybe after 60, 70 years or maybe 80 years. But tell me, anybody of us has any date of expiry? Do we know what is our lifespan? That question is you have to ask yourself. If that is the case, then how can you say, I want to postpone it to some later years? That's not the right argument. People can say, okay, today is my this thought. Let me write a will for today's thought this. Maybe after 5, 6 years, if I get retired, I will have different thought, different asset. I will do different will at that time. It is okay. But don't say, I want to postpone it for the retirement. That never works. This retirement might not come at all to who, again, your asset, hard-earned asset, might go to government, might be your family start fighting because you have done very good work for the wealth earning, but and also for good family bonding. But just doing a one mistake of not writing a will, they don't know where is the wealth and they don't know whom you want to give, so they start fighting. It's a very simple logic which you can think over. I'm just leaving it for your thought process. And there are people, they comes, okay, I have only one kid, I don't have much of money, why should I do it? So again, same reason. Even if you no kid or one kid or two kid, they don't know where your asset is. So even for that reason, you have to write it down a will. Okay. And even if you one a kid, there could be a fight because the succession laws are different. If you don't write a will, the mother and the daughter, they both can fight for the wealth which might happen. Okay. And this is reality, might be slightly, you can see the Sona Comstar case, something like that happens. So even if you have a daughter or one child or no child, the fight might happen because of the succession laws in India and the assets what you have earned, which might go to the government. People say that I have a joint name, my spouse and my wife or whatever is in the joint name and all my asset. Agreed. So what? That joint name is a operating facility given by the Reserve Bank of India or the SEBI or the MFI, but not ownership. So joint owner can't claim ownership. They can operate it for the purpose of the managing the asset, but they can't claim legally an ownership. For example, husband and wife having a demat account having 2 crore rupees into it. Husband pass away on that day. On particular day, asset, whatever is there, it can be called that 50% was belonging to husband, 50% was belonging to the wife. And if husband is passed away, his legal heir, which could be wife, also one of the legal heir, or maybe in the will he has mentioned that everything will go to my wife. Then possibly wife can become legal owner of both the asset. But in a will, a person says, no, I've been separated from my wife for many years. She is just joint owner. I want to give it to my son or daughter. That situation will might be a different than the kids will claim the half share. So legally, the court will support the kids that okay, you can claim. So this joint name is not a solution for a legal inheritance or succession. It is good for operating a asset as per the either or survivor or together jointly or whatever. So this is a basic understanding you should have and think it over. Now, nomination, as Sunil was saying, nomination is also sometimes people say, okay, I've kept everything as a nominee, so I don't have issue. Now, this joint account and nomination, tell me where you can't have this type of facility. Many times you don't have this facility in your business or your locker or your jewelry you have got or your vehicle you have got. So many assets, you can't have this type of thing. These are only in the financial asset like a bank account or a demat account or mutual fund. So these are the things which you should know that this will not solve. It will solve some part of it because domination, they will get money from the institution to keep it in custody and distribute to the legal heirs as per the will or as per the succession law. For example, I have made my wife as a nominee in my demat account. Okay. It's a single account. I have made my wife nominee. If something happens to me, my wife get as a nominee from the demat account 2 crore rupees, whatever, if we say. But she can't own fully. She can keep it under custody. I have made a will. I have mentioned that my wealth of all the wealth, I'll go 50% to my wife, 50% to my son. In that case, what will happen? Okay. What will happen? That the wife has to give half of the money to the son. If I have more kids, I will say that, okay, 50% to my wife, 25% to my daughter, 25% to my son. So the wife has to part with 1 crore so that both the kids will get 50 lakhs each. This is the law. Nominee is just a custodian and can't claim an ownership. So joint account and nomination is not a legal succession solution. It is a facility given by the government for operating the asset within the family. Many a time people feel that my financial advisors knows many things about me. They will take care of it. These are the excuses. They just don't want to write a simple will, but they have so many excuses to give. Why financial advisor should have all your information? He might not have. You have so many businesses, jewelry at home. You've got paintings at home. You have digital asset. You have got website. How the financial asset know? He might be knowing part of it. Agreed. But then why you don't want to write in a will that this much I have got? So it's a simple solution. You are giving excuses, but this is going against your wealth, against your family. So it may happen that the chartered accountant or the wealth advisor or the insurance advisors might have some information, but everything to them may not have got. Some people have got multiple wealth advisor or multiple insurance agent advisors. It might happen. So you can't rely that they will be having everything. So it is not possible that they will help you fully. Again they feel, oh, the will writing, you are saying, but it is a lot of lot of hard work. You have to bring out some lot of documents I have to make. I have to go to court. I have to do registration. I have to do this, that, and a lot of work. I want to avoid it. Again, that's a kind of myth. People don't know that writing will is so simpler. It's so simpler that we'll discuss out today, and just it will take 1 hour from you, and that can solve all your wealth issue, your family bonding issue. People are giving 2 hours, 2 weeks, 2 months for the projects they do for clients or for the employer, but they can't find 1 hour for themselves. And this 1 hour is very critical for you to find out and make your will so that your family doesn't go through the whole lot of hassles, legal issues, and your asset, hard and asset should not be going to the government just for the sake of nobody can claim. Okay. Last month, Supreme Court to ask all the RBI, SEBI, MFI, please come and tell why this wealth you are not giving to people. They are saying whom to give. We don't know who is the legal heir. They are not coming to us. We don't know where they are. So even that is not happening. So many advisors are helping people to claim these assets. Even our companies getting so much of inquiries to help them to claim those unclaimed. It takes 2 to 3 years time to claim. So these are the basic problem. You people are giving excuses, but they can't take out 1 hour just to make a will. Uh, Okay. Now let me touch upon the real subject. What is a will? Okay. People have different thoughts about a will. Like they've seen Bollywood movies and they are saying a lawyer comes at the death and they will open and they will read out. And there are so many fight going on in court on the will. People have different perceptions and thoughts, but it is not like that. Let me tell you what is a will. Will is a written document on a plain paper. I would say plain paper, even not even stamp paper. Okay. It is a declaration by a person. If I'm writing will, it is my declaration. Okay. What I'm declaring, this is my will. This is my legal document. This is my will. I have made it in my full senses and nobody has forced me and I'm medically fit. This is my last will. Any will if I made in previous period, please cancel it. Please treat it cancel and this is my last will. So this is what I mentioned in my will at the first paragraph. Then what? Then I mentioned my personal detail. So in a personal detail, what will write? Who am I? What is my age? What is my date of birth? What is my PAN card, Aadhaar card? Who are my spouse? Who is my spouse? And what is their when our marriage happened? If some separation happened, what separation, divorce or whatever? My kids, everything I will mention. So this is a personal detail that you are mentioning about your family. Okay. Then what? Next is what you are giving is detail of your assets. So this is a very important. Some people say, my family is aware of the asset. I don't want to give asset detail. I just want to say everything will go to my wife and spouse and whatever. It is good. It is fine, legally okay if you don't want to give detail. But just understand the previous few slides we have shared. If you don't give detail, and where they will go, they have to start searching your documents, They have to go to your consultant, tax consultant, your insurance consultant, your wealth advisor. Please give us detail. The treasure hunt will become after your will is there, or if you have not mentioned the detail. The treasure hunt itself is a huge, huge task, which may not you be 100% successful because some of the asset you never find it will go to government. So mentioning the asset detail is important, very important, and don't mention the value. Okay, the asset owned by you today. Okay, for the future thing, we have a solution that what happens in future, or asset whatever you buy or so. So in this, what you write, I have this flat, I have this land, I have this bank account, I have this demat account, I have this locker, I have this jewelry, I have this business. Everything you mentioned, we are making wills for many years, and we are seeing people have got more than 10 type of asset, and each asset has got multiple uh, further sub asset. Like a bank account is one of the asset, but people have got five bank account. People say I'm a demat account, they say I'm a three demat account. People say I have insurance policy, six insurance policy. Mutual fund, I've got demat mutual fund, I've got physical mutual fund, 20. So, so many asset people own, so they should mention it. Okay, it will take hardly 1 hour to you to collect the information and put it in a will. But this is a GPRS for your family to find the asset. If you are not around, this will become GPS for your family to find the asset and claim with the legal process. If you don't have this GPRS for them, where they'll go? You think it over. You also realize that without this guidance, they will have a huge, huge problem for treasure hunt. We are getting some cases, we have separate department for this, and this is really, really a terrible exercise which a parent have given to kids. It's like a curse, right? They've left the wealth, but they have not given the clue, and they will find so much of problem. In India, we don't have a system where if I give my PAN number, Aadhaar number, all the asset I will get at one place. That system is not here. That is the problem, that you should tell your family that what asset you have got, where you invested, and will is a simple document. You can change every year, every 2 years, that you can decide. The last thing you can mention in a will, whom you want to give this asset. It is your asset, your wealth. It is your decision whom to give what. So you may say, I want to give 100% to my spouse, or you may say 50% to my spouse, 25% to my daughter, 25% to my son, or you can say this business to this person, this flat to this person, this jewelry to this person, this bank account to this person. You can write asset wise or percentage wise. So this is a very simple document you can make at your home by self. Just write a will. You can sign it. You bring two witnesses from your neighbor, from your friend, from your colleagues, from your long distance relative. Let them sign along with you on this will. This can be a one pager, this can be a 10 pager, depending on how much you want to write it. Okay. And that will is become a legal document for you. You don't have to go to any court or any government department to show that I have made this will. The two witnesses become the prime important thing as per the Indian law. However, people feels that I want to also make government as a witness. They register a will to the nearby sub-registrar office, which again take 1 hour time and some cost. So this process of writing a will at home, you may say that, okay, I don't know what to write and not to write. So there are people who can help you, like companies like us. We have got online will and offline will. We try to offer both ways. Our lawyers talk to you and make a will, or you can do online will. So, or you can approach any of your legal professional that you know who can do good experience in a will. You can approach them and make a will, get it signed, and get it registered. So this become your proper will, which you may keep it at home or give it to anybody for custody, which after your demise, they will use it to distribute within themselves, and each asset will be no claim. Nothing will go to the government. They won't fight because they know whom to give what. They will feel that my father has written this will, he has signed it, I want to respect it. And all the family members will respect it and they will distribute it. Very few family, they might fight, even despite that, we have to leave it them that they always want to fight for some reason or another. Let them do. But at least in our view, 95% family have survived happily with this will document. 5% people they want to fight like a Sanjay Kapoor's family. Even there is a will, there is a trust, they are fighting. Let it be. It happens, right? If I own a car, I will have to drive it. I can't feel that or some accident happen. It might happen, but doesn't mean that I won't drive a car. So writing a will is your duty for your wealth. It is very important. Otherwise, family might have a difficulty in claiming, or they might have a debonding because of disputes. So this is a very quick the understanding on this. Now, another thing that we want to touch upon is the family trust. Now, family trust is something an advanced version. Will is important and necessary for everyone. The family trust is advanced version, which is applied to some of them. Okay. Now, who are them and what is the family trust? Let me spend 10 minutes on this. So, family trust is like creating a small locker in the bank where the person who is owning the wealth, they put the wealth into it, and it is for the benefit of the family members. They're called beneficiaries. And who has the key? The trustees. So this is a simpler version of a family trust that we are creating a small locker or a company or like HUF that I want to put some of my wealth into it. It may not be full wealth. You can keep 100% out of 100%, 80% into this locker. Keep something at your place. Now, what is difference between will and family trust? A will is a simpler document, one document which is mentioning about your asset and your wishes. And family trust is something you are gifted already within your lifetime. The will come in place after the demise of a person. So it may happen after many years, after you have done many wills there later on. But family trust is something you have already cut the inheritance process completely of the legal issue, the legal probate or whatever by transferring some of your asset into the trust. It is already completed during your lifetime. When I'm living, I have created a trust out of my 2 crore of demat account. 1 crore 80 lakhs I have transferred to the demat account. 20 lakhs I want to keep myself for my life enjoyment. This trust also I can operate, I can manage, I can use it for myself, and I can also use it for my kids and my wife and everybody. So this is something we have created a family trust. So in that family trust, there is no challenge of inheritance. There is no issue because you already have gifted in a joint manner that everybody will enjoy the fruits. Will is a single document, two-pager, 20-pager, whatever, depending upon your asset base and your wishes. And family trust is a separate thing where you can have to have page about 15, 20 pages of trust deed, and there is a PAN card and bank account is to be open. So this is like an old HUF version. This is the latest version of the HUF, which is a legal type of entity with the trustees instead of Karta, who is a sole person. Here, so many trustees can do. Will can be made within 30 minutes to couple of days. You can take and complete the will. The family trust might take 2 to 3 weeks time to complete the process. Normally, will you need some legal help if you want to take a legal help for drafting. But in a trust, if it is, you might have to include a tax consultant. If you are having foreign child in foreign country or foreign asset, FEMA consultant. If you're large business, then might having a company secretary into it. So this is the team of the people who try to do a estate planning for this, including a family trust. People say I have a HUF, I don't want a family trust. So again, a quick no comparison. So in HUF, the right arises by the birth. So we all know Hindu undergraduate family, a new child who is born, immediately they become the co-partner of a boy or a girl. They become the joint owner of the asset. In a family trust, the person who has a wealth, he will decide whom to give the rights. He has a choice. Okay. Now in the HUF, it is managed by a Karta. Karta who is a senior most person as per the Hindu law, and he will have a single person who can decide, take all the decision, and everybody has to follow. No challenge. Nobody can challenge the decision. In a trust, it is a trust which are private trustee. You can keep yourself, you can keep any friend, relative, professionals. They are just managing the wealth as per the trust deed rules. So everything is mentioned in the trust deed, and the trustee are just managers, and they have to act only as per the trust deed. Hindu undivided family laws by the Hindu law, and the trust law is separate law. It is like a legal company or that type of structure under Indian Trust Act. It works. Uh, Hindu undivided HUF can be closed with the partition. Every family member will get equally. That is the law. But in dissolution of a trust deed, it is clearly mentioned that who will get what. Even the ratio is mentioned that if you have got two kid or three kid, you have mentioned that at the time of dissolution, this is the ratio. It will happen according to the ratio you have decided. It is not equal. So this is a very brief comparison. Now, who should create a family trust quickly? People, affluent family, in our view, maybe people with the 10 crores and above should think of this. They should understand and decide whether they want to do trust in addition to will or not. People in the business, definitely they should look at it because business growth can happen for many, many years. The business income should continuously come to the family for many, many years without disturbing the management. Because if I write a will and if I say that my couple of kids both will manage the business, there is likely chances that they might not be on the same understanding or managing, or they may not be interested in the business. They are in foreign country or they have their own startup. So in that case, one has to think of the business succession. People always make a very big mistake. Okay, that I have got 50 crores. Okay, I will give it this fashion by will, trust, whatever. But he is into business. He has business of say 50 crore of turnover. Every year, 5 crore earning is coming. He doesn't know that this business will earn another 150 crore in next 50 years. If I don't plan well, that huge wealth coming to the family in next few years, they will ruin up. They will completely miss this opportunity to plan well. So our humble suggestion: whoever into business should please look into a business succession very well with this type of trust. Some people, parents have got special needs child like an autism, ADHD, and all. They always have a fear that what will happen if my kid survives and he doesn't understand this type of wealth and he can't take care of himself or herself. In this case, we have done so many parents, we have helped for creating this type of trust that the trustees will take care of the kid and the wealth. And after the kid is not there, it may go to the charity or other family member or whatever. But the responsibility is given to the trustee, who can be a siblings, who can be cousins, who can be a counselor or therapist. That can happen. Some families they come to us that there could be the marriage is if a matrimonial issue. Now people knows that it is alarming issue in India. 30-40% marriages are not happening the way they had thought, and eventually no, there is a alimony claim, there are maintenance, and so many claims comes in, and that can attack the personal asset of the family, which is where so many people feels that okay, let us protect my asset by keeping in a separate trust, so that doesn't come into those type of claim. The people into business, they've got large loans, liabilities, and they feel that some mistake happened, my business might go wrong, and the banks or everybody will behind my money, my personal wealth. How do I protect my personal wealth? So the family trust is something one can keep it for keeping the business away and protect your asset, which is called a ring fencing. Philanthropy, some people also create trust for the charity from their money properly. NRI. Now, sometimes the kids are NRI, or some of the NRI are settled and they want to come back to India, or they have wealth in India. For them, this is also really important. to create a family trust where to operate the wealth remotely from there, to have inheritance tax issues sort out. Also, they have the growing wealth in India, like, the Indian returns are very high, so they can keep the wealth here instead of taking in their country, which can be complicated for the income tax, for the inheritance tax. The level of the taxes are higher in other countries. So even NRIs has to very closely look at these options. And some of the religion follower with the Muslim religion, they have the Sharia restriction on writing a will for all the asset. So some of the families have also done a family trust for taking a decision of all their assets. Okay. So these are the a few of the example. Quite a few business families have created a trust and transferred their wealth to the trust, whether before IPO or after IPO, and try to keep it, so that business can continue growing properly by one particular entity business trust, like a Tata Trust concept, no, that goes on and on many years. Benefits of the trust: it ring fences your asset, seamless succession. No effort to claim the business or legal process or probate. Nothing. Everything is already transferred in the trust. Immediately they become the owner. The consolidated platform, all the ownership and everything is at one place. The governance completely. If the family members are not very expert into that business, or they don't want to do day to day, they can hire the professionals as the trustees who can guide the businesses. They can exit anytime they want to do. And these are the good for NRI friendly operations. It takes about 35 to 40 days time for the process of consulting with you by our lawyer, drafting trust deed, and then taking your suggestions, uh, doing a registration at the sub-registrar office, taking a PAN card and opening a bank account. So this whole process takes about 4 weeks time. Some practical cases quickly I'll take another 2 minutes. So say for example, a person has got wealth 100 rupees, or maybe you can say 1 crore. He will create one child for one trust for the child one, and he will transfer 40 rupees there, where he become the trustee, and his son or daughter can become a beneficiary along with the kids or the future kids. So this type of model is very popular. For child two, they will again make another trust so that both the child have got independent wealth. The These type of things is very popular because we have seen that now current generations are a bit different. They want to have independent life. Somebody is here, somebody is abroad, somebody wants to do startup, somebody wants to invest in mutual fund. They have different thoughts, different family dynamics, and their life requirement. So creating a two separate trust is always better. So during the lifetime only you have segregated, like we used to keep locker for two son. One locker we can see this jewelry, this is for this jewelry. That concept is happening same way in the trust. So we are creating a two trust for two kids. And we can keep in 20% in a will, which will come via will to both of them. Now, all these 100 rupees, either I can you do it via my personal name, or I keep it in the trust, but everything is controlled by me till I'm there. So this happens same way, only the structure is different. Another example, somebody is into business, joint family, typically, they both have a business. So they open a business trust. They both the brothers, their spouse, their kids, everybody's holding shares. They put it everything in a one place. It becomes a business trust for a strong entity, one decision maker. They both also have a private family trust for their own personal wealth, and they will have a will also. Again, they will have their below each child-wise trust. So this type of structure is also very, very popular and very logical. By spending couple of months and spending few lakhs, the whole 50, 100, 500 crore type of wealth can be ensured to be a smooth succession without any hassle, and for the long, long, many, many years for that type of asset to be protected. So this was the very brief presentation that we have shared, and I hope you have learned something here. And wherever you feel that you have to use it for your family, your client, or your relatives, please convey this and do your will, your trust, if at all applicable to you. Over to you, Sunil, for any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Jatin, for your valuable insights. And I think we have got a lot of questions from our audience also. Before that, I just want to give a brief in terms of overall perspective. I think in today's time, the way from a financial planning perspective at Triton's, we tell that term plan, health plan, and emergency fund, these are the three critical things. I think the fourth foremost thing in today's time is that to make sure to have a will and succession planning. I think this is becoming very critical because the whole life, the efforts as a family, what they have done to make sure that family have a peace of mind at later stage. So I think it's become very critical before even to do anything else. I think this is something which everybody should do it. And at a Ritosis, we want to make sure that all our clients and prospect have proper planning. And I have two questions before I'll ask Q&A from attendees. One is, what are the common mistakes during the will you have seen people do? Because one of the thing what we have seen many times, the beneficiary become the witness. I think that's one of the common thing what we have seen, that because many times people don't understand the criticality in terms of what are the basic things they do. That's where the role of the professionals like you or companies like us, where we help them, is become critical. So if you can just give us some bit in terms of the common mistakes. And
Yeah,
secondly, on the family trust part, like revocable or irrevocable trust, which one, on which scenario it makes sense? I think these two questions I want to take, and after that maybe I'll take Q&A. Tara may take Q&A part.
sure. Yes, Sunil, surely. So, will the people generally, in our experience, the people they have made mistake. First, they don't make a will. That's the one of the biggest mistake. Secondly, they make a will by some templates, or they go to some legal professional who doesn't have understanding or experience of this type of subject. Because maybe some law firm they go, lawyer they go, they might not have done any wills in past, but they will do it. They can't say no. So approaching to right people also is very important for all of them, because in a will writing we have seen mistakes. Number one, they don't mention that this will was is a last will. I have made a future past will which should be treated cancel. Secondly, they confuse, they contradict the views. Like something they say, everything I will give it to my spouse in the first paragraph. Afterwards, they say, I have got FD of 5 lakhs, which I want to give to my daughter. This type of things is a contradiction, which is always disputable by within the family. Thirdly, they try to make the beneficiaries as a witness. Now, that is also wrong. Sometimes they make a witness who are of the similar age. So what happens when they pass away? Even witness are not there. Okay. Thirdly, they are not updating their will, because during the we have seen the people wills, they come to us after 10 years, and during the 10 years they have, I think, a lot of changes happened. They have sold 5 6 properties, they've taken 3 more. So that becomes little difficult for family to mingle with it, what to do with it. So updating the will is also very important. Keeping the will properly is in a safe place. Otherwise, somebody will have a hand it all, and they do not know appreciate the will. They may no फाड़ के फेंक देंगे. No, they will tear off. So that also are there to keep a proper custody within the will. Don't not mentioning the more asset detail. It's something a mistake. Also, they forget to mention about the residual asset or future asset clauses. So that is something very important, that if you return 10 asset, but you might not have mentioned couple of asset which be missed or which might be there at that time when you die. So residual asset clause should be there. The future asset clause also should be there. And also within the asset detail, what they are mentioning, they are no clearly confusing the whole concept. The business asset they don't mention. So these are the common mistake they do. For the family trust, a revocable trust and irrevocable trust, both concepts are good. Revocable is something people say, this is my wealth. I am keeping into the trust, but during my lifetime, I may cancel the trust and I take the money back. Okay. So that type of trust is called a revocable trust. Say, for example, I have created a locker in a bank. I have kept jewelry into it, but tomorrow I can take it back in my home. It is my decision. So that's a revocable trust concept. But that type of trust where asset protection is not available because the government says this is revocable, it is your asset only you have parked into different name. So asset protection is not available. In future, if some inheritance tax comes in India, even that will not won't get a benefit of it. Matrimonial issue comes up or those type of thing, even this asset become the personal asset. So the revocable asset is useful only when you want to say that after me, my family should not suffer for inheritance legal process or probate. So that is the best thing happen that I can mention. This is my revocable trust. I am transferring it. After I die, this become irrevocable and distribute to my son, daughter, so and so in this fashion. So that way you're cutting the whole legal process. So revocable is for that. Irrevocable has a different thing that once you gift it, it will remain for the beneficiaries. Now that beneficiary also, you also can be beneficiary. So why not to create that type of trust, which will get all the benefits. So world over, irrevocable trust is something more prevalent.
Thanks, Jatin. And just want to add one part. I think on the asset part, digital assets also. I think one of the core thing on the wealth creation part, which many a times I think people not realize that how it become critical. And secondly, I think on the liabilities part also, what we have seen for many of our clients where their liabilities part also at least family should be aware because not just the asset
True.
part. I think these two things also something can be
True.
very helpful for the family to know. And